Morning, everybody. We'll wait till everybody gets in. So I think we have some good news for the residents, and what we have tried to do throughout this is to make sure that the public knew exactly what we knew. And so that's what we're trying to do today. I just got off the phone again with Governor Shapiro. He and I have been talking a number of different times today, and he has authorized me to say that he agrees with these decisions. These were joint decisions that he and I have made in consultation and relying on the experts. So what we're going to do today is to tell you what the announcement is. That's going to come from Chief Drabeck. We're then going to bring up some of the experts again to tell you what they have found in regard to water, what they've found in regard to the air, and try to answer any questions that you might have. So we have the experts here. I'll ask Chief Drabeck to come up, and I just want to say, first of all, that he has done a phenomenal job. He has been the person in charge. That is how the Ohio Revised Code reads, and he's done a phenomenal job. But I also want to thank everyone else, many different departments that have been involved in working to protect the residents. So, Chief, I'll let you come up.
Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, sir.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Chief Drabeck, Village of East Palestine Fire Department. As mentioned in previous press releases, the safety of the residents affected by the train derailment in East Palestine has been our #1 priority throughout. Yesterday, the United States EPA, Ohio EPA, and the 52nd Civil Support Team collected air and water samples from the evacuation area. These samples were analyzed overnight. These agencies, along with the Ohio Department of Transportation, or the Ohio Department of Health, and the East Palestine Fire Department, feel it is now safe to be in the evacuation area. With the full support and backing of Governor DeWine, I am happy to announce that the evacuation order is now lifted. With that being said, there is some information that residents need to know before returning to their homes. In order to ensure that everyone returns to their homes safely and orderly, please refer to the Safe Return Traffic Plan posted on Columbiana County EMA's Facebook page. As the incident commander, I would like to thank the community for your patience and cooperation throughout this process. Thank you to our fellow safety service partners, emergency service personnel, and authorities at the local, state, and federal levels for your tireless work and invaluable expertise. I would also like to thank the Ohio Director of Public Safety, Andy Wilson, Governor DeWine for their unwavering support and for being present on the ground with us. We understand that this incident caused an interruption and inconvenience in all of our lives. However, we came together as a community and put safety first, avoiding what very well could have been a tragedy of epic proportions. I have never been more proud to be a member of East Palestine community and your fire chief. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Good job. Let me now ask James Justice to come back up. You had the opportunity to hear from him several days ago. He is with the US EPA, and I'm going to ask him to talk about the air situation and what they have found in their testing.
Thank you, Governor. Again, James Justice with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Over the past, as you know, we've been conducting air monitoring and sampling in the community since the start of the incident. Over the last 24 hours, we've continued to monitor, and as we've reported before, all the readings we've been recording in the community have been at normal concentrations, normal background, what you would find in almost any community operating outside. And based on those recommendations and those air monitoring readings, we reported to the fire chief and our assisting health agencies, and that's what led to the fire chief lifting the evacuation today.
You want
Yes, sir.
You want to detail a little bit how extensive the monitoring has been, and anything else you can tell about that?
Oh, absolutely. Throughout the incident, we've had a number of area arrays. We have a number of instrumentations that we use. Some are static instruments that we place at strategic locations, and then we also have teams that have handheld instruments. And we've been conducting that kind of air monitoring 24 hours a day. Our partners and contractors for Norfolk Southern have been doing the same. We've had assistance from the Ohio National Guard Civil Support Team, and all that data combined together is accumulated, and we review it, provide it to the health agencies, and it's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of data points that we've collected over the time to show that the air quality in the town is safe, and led to the decision for the fire chief to lift the evacuation.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And he'll be available for questions. Kirk Kohler, the Ohio EPA, will talk about what he has found and his team has found in regard to the water quality. Kirk?
Yes, Governor.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. As again, Ohio EPA Emergency Response Unit has been here since the onset of the incident. We have been tasked primarily with the protection and monitoring of the water systems, the waterways, and we do agree and glad to see the safe return of the residents here to East Palestine. The unfortunate side of these incidents at the onset is material does, and in this case has entered the waterway. Actions were taken to minimize that. There were detections through the laboratory analysis of it. The unfortunate side, those were immediately toxic to fish, but all the information and data to date is it has still been protective for the drinking water as it applies for drinking water standards. We are working closely with our partners to ensure that that is maintained. Throughout the incident, again, containment measures and in-situ treatment measures have been in place, working with Norfolk Southern, and there are, again, Ohio partners here, like the Civil Support Team. Water samples throughout Sulphur Run, Leslie Run, Little Beaver Creek, and even the Ohio River are being conducted on a daily operation to ensure that safety remains in place. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let me now ask Scott Deutsch to come up. He was here before representing the railroad, and he's going to talk about what residents can expect and what the railroad will do to help residents as we move forward.
Thank you. First, I'd like to say thank you to the governor and his staff and all his agencies from the state that assisted us during this incident. The fire chief was remarkable for us, helping us from the beginning. Also, all the police officers, everybody that supported us, and all the first responders. The first thing I want to go over is all the cars have been cleared from the rails. Those cars, we'll be working on those over the next several weeks and preparing them to have them removed from the site. Some temporary road closures. If we want to make sure this information gets out, we will have the crossings closed at James Street. We'll have the crossings closed at Pleasant. And the bigger closure will be Taggart Road from the state line to the car wash on Taggart Road. We will have heavy equipment moving in there. That'll be where we'll be moving the cars in and out, so we want to make sure that we maintain that, and a lot of our workers will be staged along that road and equipment, so we have to keep that particular road closed right now. The Family Assistance Center, that'll be open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that'll be open for the foreseeable future if the residents that were evacuated need any type of assistance. As far as assistance, things that can be that we can assist you with, is going to be one of them will be any reimbursements for eligible expenses. Those expenses are any clothing, food, lodging, hotel rooms that you incurred. Stop at the assistance center and they'll assist you with that. For our business owners that were in the evacuation zone, our teams, you can also go to the assistance center. I'm going to give you a phone number for everybody to use. For any business loss during the evacuation, you need to go to the assistance center and talk with our claims team, and they're going to take care of you with all that once they get the information from you. Any question? Before I give you the number, we'll do one more thing, and that's going to be if you feel you need an air test done on your home before you enter it. I'm going to give you a phone number to call, or you could go to the assistance center and they will set that all up for you. We will send our trained people from our contractor and they'll come down and assist you. That phone number, if you could get this out for us, is going to be 234-542-6472. That's 234-542-6472. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me ask the Mayor Conaway, to come up.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Will the fire officers please join behind me? Chief Dravick, please come up here. These men behind us saved our town on Friday. This could have been a disaster. If it wasn't for them and their leadership, we would have had a lot bigger problem on our hands. All these men behind me are part-time. Chief Dravick is the only full-time person on our fire department. I think it shows the level of training and the commitment they have to our community, and I would just like to thank them for everything they have done over the last several days. If it wasn't for them, our citizens would have been in peril, and I think we all need to congratulate them, and we appreciate them. You guys are appreciated. I'm speaking for myself and the rest of the town residents, so I thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
As I said last night, and I'll stress again, this is very frustrating for everybody. We've had everything happen to us that nobody's ever had anything like this happen to us in this town. We've dealt with people on social media spreading false rumors. We've dealt with trying to get information out. We know everybody's frustrated. Everybody wants to be in their homes. We did the best we can. The number one goal was public safety, and we accomplished that. Nobody was injured, nobody died, and there was very few injuries from the recovery process so far. So I commend everybody for that, and I just want to thank everybody involved, all the agencies, the Highway State Patrol, the governor, the Sheriff's Department, our local PD, EMS, and all the fire departments that came. 78 people came out of their house, most of them volunteers, to come help put the fire out in our little town. So I would just like to thank all of them, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you very much. Throughout this, we've worked obviously very closely with the Pennsylvania authorities. Let me ask Eric Brewer to come out now, who Beaver County Commissioner.
Eric Brewer, Director of Emergency Services for Beaver County, speaking on behalf of the Board of Commissioners for Beaver County, Pennsylvania. We wanted nothing more to get the residents of Darlington Township back than they wanted to. So the reentry process was a collective decision made by everyone behind me, working as a team. As part of that Beaver County's process, we will be reaching out to Darlington residents via our mass notification system, social media posts, as well as the local media. We will also be reaching out to those residents personally to see what their needs may be and getting them in the right direction there. So this is a perfect time for those residents, Beaver County residents, to go to beavercountypa.gov to sign up for the mass notification system so that we can get those messages out. In the coming days, we will also be posting other messages to our social media for residents of Darlington, Beaver County who were affected. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We'll be happy to take questions.
Can you give us an idea of what your air quality readings have given you that brings us to this point, as well as your water quality monitoring process as well?
Yeah, I'm going to bring them back up. I mean, basically, it was explained to me, the air, which obviously we're most concerned about, everybody breathes the air, that the readings are basically similar to what they would have expected prior to the train wreck or the train accident. So that's my layman's interpretation, but I'm going to bring the experts back up again.
Thank you, Governor.
Yeah, specifically, were there particular carcinogens or chemicals that you were specifically looking for in the air?
Well, I'd like to reiterate, the governor gave a better answer than I could have, but specifically some of the contaminants based on the consist from the rail line that provided for the cars involved, we focused on those chemicals. As you know, the primary driver was vinyl chloride. We talked about that at press conference before. And then not only the vinyl chloride, there's a couple other chemicals related on the rail cars. We monitored for those, as well as combustion products. As those things burn, they produce additional chemicals. So some of the primary combustion products from vinyl chloride was phosgene and hydrogen chloride, both very toxic chemicals, and that's why that controlled burn the other night was so important to get right, because there was a potential for those contaminants to be released. Our monitoring, even during that, did not show. We had a few detections right at the site, but very few detections, but all below health screening levels after that incident. And that just shows the robustness of the monitoring system we had with our partners to make sure the community is safe and then to allow for a safe return to the community.
Was there anything that you were able to gather from water testing at all?
I'll have to defer to Ohio EPA for that answer. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, to fully address that question again, under this phase, it's been the emergency response. As you see the emergency services go back home, off-site, Ohio EPA is going to remain involved through our other divisions that oversee the long-term cleanup of these kind of spills. They'll be working with Norfolk Southern and their contractors to ensure both you weren't safe during this, you were safe during the emergency phase, and then over the years, in these cases, things remain safe. Your drinking water supplies, which are groundwater supplied. So we did have, the water sampling is being collected and were submitted for laboratory analysis. We had Ohio EPA's toxicologists review that data. Norfolk Southern's had toxicologists review that data to ensure that the contaminants that were present in the water were still at safe levels. Yes, there were detections, but again, they remained at safe levels. And we want to ensure that happens. I do know that our Division of Drinking and Groundwaters is working closely with the Columbiana County Health Department to implement a residential well sampling to reassure residents that what we're saying has held true, that their water supplies remain safe to drink.
Should residents be alarmed at seeing dead fish like the Resident 1
Again, the toxicity of the material that entered waterway was an immediate and acute effect to the water life. I mean, if you're seeing something or something gets past our containment as the days go and trains and product is still being recovery, please report it. You could even call our 800 number or notify us up here. And also just, if you see a discoloration or something, stay out of it. Yes, I would avoid that.
Soil from the burn off or anything, would there be soil tests or anything along those lines?
That, again, is part of that long-term remediation. The goal under, again, this emergency phase is that the grossly contaminated material should be getting collected. The liquids should be getting collected, containerized for disposal. And then, again, the sampling, the remediation phase, if you want to call it that, will come in where they do collect the soil samples. They do compare it. What is the best option then for that long-term cleanup phase? Because that does at that point in time. Yes, during the emergency phase, your best friend is a vac truck and an excavator. So, to get it up and out. So that's, again, we will continue to work with Norfolk Southern. Ohio EPA is committed to maintain the public health and safety of the citizens of East Palestine.
With all the information and the data, the monitoring that you guys have been doing with the air quality and all the stuff that you have received from doing that monitoring, how confident and why, are you that there won't be any long-term health concerns concerning the air quality and the water for the residents here?
This is your water man. We'll bring the air guy back.
Again,
take the
yes,
water?
as far as the water, again, the toxicologists and environmental scientists who know that in depth, we do share that information to them. Right now, we have a system set up. As the data comes in, it's distributed to a network for people to look at, both on an immediate phase, hey, is there anything really alarming that we missed? And then again, those smaller numbers that really matter from that long-term exposure concern. The residential well sampling that I believe is going to be implemented this week, very soon, is going to, again, confirm that what you have in your well is the same as what it was prior to this spill.
Let's finish this one.
And in regards to air quality, as I've indicated before, the air monitoring data we've collected so far is good, but as remediation continues, there may be issues with that. But the primary release of air issues is fire. The fire is out. There may be some off-gassing from pool product, but as Kurt, my colleague at Ohio EPA indicated, you get rid of that gross contamination, you remove that physical product, and then that largely eliminates your air issue, and then it's just localized for the workers on the site.
And you do have some of the physical product still there, which the railroad has assured us that they're going to very quickly remove. Let me ask the Ohio Department of Natural Resources to come up and address the question in regard to the fish.
Thank you, Governor. Hello, good afternoon. I'm Jeremy Carter. I'm the Law Operations Manager for Northeast Ohio for the Department of Natural Resources, Division of Wildlife. Department of Natural Resources obviously has jurisdiction over the wild animals, so we're working closely with our partners behind me to just monitor the affected area and the waterways, and we'll have staff on scene throughout the week just to keep that monitoring, to keep a tab on exactly where the levels are at.
I've not had a discussion with him, no. In fact, I just heard about the Weirton 45 minutes ago. So, again, I'll let this go back to the experts here.
Orsenco is a group that helps with the monitoring of the water quality within the Ohio River. They are aware of the situation. They are providing us the results. They have their monitoring system set up, including all the way down to Cincinnati, to targeting these specific contaminants that we are aware of. Again, yes, there were some detections, not a surprise, but yet again, it was well below drinking water standards. Weirton was the first and only detection that I have heard from Orsenco, and we're again in contact with them once or twice a day.
Can you tell us what actually leaked? Are we talking about chemicals, fuel?
Anybody? Railroad?
Obviously, the vinyl chloride that, we had to vent and burn, and then a little bit of lube oil, non-haz lube oil, and the butyl-acrylate that is what a lot of what we're gathering information on.
What could Precision Scheduled Railroad have to do with the axle failure that caused the derailment?
I have no idea. That's a mechanical issue. Precision Scheduled Railroading is a management process.
Yes, sir.
So moving forward, with rail cars continuing to go through this small community, how does Norfolk Southern continue to build trust back with residents who live right there near the scene? And Mayor, how do you trust Norfolk Southern moving forward with potentially toxic chemicals moving through this small town?
We will continue to monitor everything. We have several different safeties along the tracks that monitor our equipment, photograph our equipment as it comes through. We will continue. Safety is number one with Norfolk Southern. As you saw and heard about the axle issue, this is a very unfortunate event. We run almost 1,000-some trains throughout the country, and we will continue to operate safely.
Is there a place that the public can view the data as it compares to the safe level?
We're talking about air, water. That work will certainly continue.
if I could get your information, we do have a public website where we're sharing the air data summaries. I can get that to you. If I get your information afterwards, I can make sure we could share that with you. I don't have it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, we might, let me just, you might want to put that up somewhere.
I'll get it with a public announcement.
Yeah, because everybody should be able to get it. Mayor, they want a reaction from you.
Yeah, could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so how do you and your residents continue to put faith and trust in Norfolk Southern moving forward with toxic chemicals moving through your small town?
That's a very tricky subject. I have to work with health officials and the experts to tell me. I'm not a chemist. I don't know. I'm not a railroad expert. I'm not a hazardous material expert. I can't read I can't read the placards going by. I don't know that information. So I have to work with them. We're gonna have to work with the EPA, the federal EPA, and we're gonna have to find out what's going through our town. But in the same, I don't have control of that. I'm gonna have to, I really don't know how to answer that. I have to keep my citizens safe. And the railroad has to do their job, and I don't know how both, intertwine. This is the first major accident we've had here, but it can't happen again. So we're just gonna have to work, I guess, with everybody, federal officials, state officials, and just, figure this out, so.
Look, I think we expect Norfolk Southern to have answers to exactly what happened, and candidly to explain what they're going to do to prevent that from happening here or someplace else in the future. The burden is upon them, really, to assure the public that what they do every day is safe. It would appear that we've gotten out of this without any major problem other than great inconvenience and scaring a lot of people. But it could have been certainly a lot worse, and it could have turned out that we had people who were injured or people who, had all kinds of bad results. So it's incumbent upon the railroad. The burden's on them, I think, to assure the public what they're doing, make sure that something like this will not happen again any place else in the United States.
Governor, quick question for you, sir. Who's going to pay for this? The citizens of Ohio get stuck with this bill?
Norfolk Southern will pay for it.
And can people start moving back right now, or is there a time and place when?
This is up to the people. Some people may prefer to wait until morning. They may not want to go in this time of night, but that's an individual choice. Some people may make the decision, I don't want to go back until the testing has been done right inside my house. That's being offered, and I've talking to the experts. They don't think people have anything to worry about, but it's very understandable that you may want that testing to be done before you go back in that house. So that's an individual decision that people have every right to make, and they will make those.
But they can start going back right now?
Yes, they can go right now.
Is there any chance there are chemicals in any of the homes?
Again, I will let our air quality and water quality. You're talking about what?
And the evacuation, those people have to leave those homes for safety reasons. Is it at all possible that there are chemicals in any of those homes?
What they have told me is that they believe that the air in there should be similar to the air outside. Did I get that right? Anybody?
As the governor said, we never detected a sizable plume inside the evacuation zone, so we wouldn't expect to see high concentrations inside the home. That's why the reoccupation screening is voluntary, and we encourage people, if you have any questions, be sure to call and take advantage of that. The teams will consist of a railroad contractor as well as an EPA representative too, to verify those readings.
Who else?
For Norfolk Southern, when were crews first alerted that there was a problem?
I could refer you to our, sorry, choked up there. Media relations people, I don't have the exact time. They may be able to give you that information. I don't have that information.
Okay, where was the train going, coming from? What was the course?
It was headed towards Conway, Pennsylvania. I don't know its origination.
Governor, there was a reporter taken away in the end at the start of your news. Heard of that or not? I was wondering if there's somebody in your group that could tell us why.
Yeah. Let me tell you what I know, which is not very much. I heard some commotion back there, but obviously I couldn't see through there. Jill Del Greco, who is my press secretary, who is here, pulled me out shortly after that and told me just what you just said. So I don't know the facts. Let me just say that a reporter should be allowed to report live or to tape or whatever they want to do anywhere in this press conference. That happens frequently. There'll be a press conference going on and someone wants to report live, they want to go up, they have every right to do that. So I don't know what happened, but we will certainly find that out. I don't know the interaction or what happened, but it has always been my practice that if I'm doing a press conference, if someone wants to report out there and they want to be talking to the people back on channel, whatever, they have every right to do that. That should not, if someone was stopped from doing that or told they could not do that, that was wrong. And it was nothing that I authorized, and certainly it would be something that I would not want to see happen. This happens, we do this, I do this all the time, and so I'm certainly very, very sorry that happened. I don't know all the facts, but he or she, whoever was arrested, had every right to be reporting and do what they do every single day.
We saw one of the gentlemen that was wearing one of the National Guard uniforms grab him up by his chest. Is that a way that you would want to see
someone? No. Again, I didn't see it. I heard a commotion. Didn't know what went on until Jill told me. And she gave me that much information. I'm not sure she knew much about it or what happened. So all I can say is that person had a right to be reporting. They should have been allowed to report. If they were in any way hampered from reporting, that certainly is wrong, and it's not anything that I approve of. In fact, I vehemently disapprove of it.
Governor, can he be allowed to come back and do his job? He's been on the ground all week doing the story.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he can. We will, once I move away from the mic, or maybe we can find out. Let me see who I've got out here. Okay, I don't think a director of health can do that. Let me just see. Let me go see what is going on. So as soon as I finish this press conference, that's what I'll certainly do. And if the reporter wants to interview me, they can interview. That reporter can interview me.
Notifications that the number's not working that you guys just gave.
I'm sorry.
People are saying the number's not working that you just gave. You guys just gave.
Okay. Who gave the number?
Which number?
234-542-6472.
Norfolk Southern, your number's not working.
We're working on it. It should be 6474. There's also a separate number.
Okay, we can't hear you. You're going to have to come up and use the microphone right here.
Hi all, we have a phone number for you. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call our hotline. It will connect you to a toxicologist who you can ask any questions, discuss concerns. This phone number is 234-542-6474. Additionally, if a person would like to specifically request air monitoring in their home, this will be for residents who live within 1 mile radius of the incident site. And the number you can call to participate in the air monitoring program is 330-849-3919. Thank you.
Can you repeat those numbers, please?
Yes. The first number you can call to speak with a toxicologist. They will answer questions and concerns that any residents may have. The phone number is 234-542-6474. And the second number that a person can call if they live in the 1 mile evacuation radius and would like air monitoring in their home, they can call and request those services at 330-849-3919.
In addition, for the air monitoring, if you are on a private well and would like to have drinking, water supplied, you could also use that number to request water supply during the interim period until your wells are tested.
Can somebody tell us where to find the safe return traffic tank entry?
That's at the Columbiana County EMA Facebook page. Yes, so the fire is out. We got notified of that earlier today, and that had a lot to do with basing our decision on lifting this evacuation order. We have gone down, we have checked that, confirmed that the fire is out. Norfolk Southern is working real close with us on that. So, oh yes, they have a lot of work to do yet. Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
When will the train start up again?
I don't really know the exact schedule when they'll start, but it'll be soon.
I'm assuming there's a backup that's going back for states and miles.
I really don't have that information. I'm in a different department, but thank you.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Yeah.